This is Asaf, my miller. He wanted to be a baker and ended up as the best miller I know. This is Ayelet. For her 40th birthday, she started an organic farm with her friend Neta. They grow my vegetables. Sar, who's also my farmer, converted from conventional farming to permaculture. And this is Yitzchak. He's my winemaker. He retired and realized his dream to make wine in the basement of his house. These people make the food our family eats. They're all my friends and neighbors. But it wasn't always like that. I was always fascinated by the origin and source of our food. I read books about the history of food. I learned the politics of food. I reconstructed ancient recipes and feasts. I even studied it in the university. Doing all that, the most important thing I learned was that as we move away from our involvement in the production of our food, we compromise our health, our environment, and our society. We eat cheap food that is grown by people who can't afford it in ways that spoil land and water, then processed in ways that create huge amount of waste that kills wildlife and jeopardize our health. We can do all that because we don't see it. It's removed from our lives. But I still wanted to find a way to know more about where my food comes from. So, like with every problem I need to solve, I went to my wife. And she did what she always does. She raised the stakes even higher and told me I need to self-experiment. So, we embarked on yet another adventure that changed my life. For a whole year, I ate only food I knew was local. Only food I knew for sure was grown here. I tackled my year of locavoring head-on, walked into a supermarket with some hard questions, and that was also when I understood I may have a problem. It turns out that according to the Israeli Central Bureau of Statistics, most of our food is imported. Even 33% of our fresh fruits and vegetables are imported. Sadly enough, even the most famous local brands I knew from my childhood are not local anymore. The most amusing example is the sardines of the Sea of Galilee. The reputation was so good that even when they stopped bringing the sardines from the Sea of Galilee, they kept the name and wrote in little letters on the side, new, now imported. I moved on to discover that my locally branded garlics come from China. The Galilean olive oil is Greek, and the farm fresh eggs come from Turkey. What should I do? The first thing I realized was that I have nothing to do in the supermarket. Supermarkets are made of merchandise, not food. Most of the time, we won't have a clue where it came from. I left the supermarket seeking a solution in my community. A few days ago, as I was preparing for this lecture, my daughter, who's now 7, said she also wants to hear it. So, I gave her the lecture. And when we got to this last part, she stopped me, looked at me in a strange way in the eyes and said, Dad, did you really ever go into supermarkets? Are you sure you really wrote that? By now, supermarkets are unthinkable in our family. However, now I needed to find people that sell food and know its origin. Soon I found that every professional and small shop knew exactly the origin of the food. We conducted an experiment with butchers. We asked them where the calves were raised. The butcher in the supermarket didn't have a clue. Even the butcher in the butchery chain didn't know. The only ones that knew were the real, professional butchers that owned their own local shop. They knew exactly the origin of the meat. I went back buying food the way my grandparents used to. Meat from the butcher, vegetables from the farmer in the market, and flour from Asaf's mill. I got to know my community. I started my year with food in my mind, but I ended up with a community. I learned that in order to eat nutritious food, I need to know where it comes from. And in order to know where it comes from, I need to get to know my community. Think how much money we invest in food in our lives. Many years of buying food, every week, an enormous amount. think about the influence each of us could have if we change the way we invest that money. A few weeks ago, I was lecturing to Bedouin teachers about local food. And when I finished, the headmaster of the school came to me and asked me if, and he said that there is a local Bedouin phrase for the importance of local economy. In Arabic, it's Iyed ufararat bi'ukhtaha. It means that if I move something from one of my hands to the other, it stays with me. In the tribe, it meant that if I give you something, I can't lose, because it stays in our community. As we learned to see the power of locavoring, we also started to hear the skeptics. It's too hard. Supermarket has everything in one place, and so on. Chain stores are much more visible. So now we're working on a project that will make the local and the small more visible. We're creating a platform that will give the community a tool to map the local shops and businesses. We're creating it with volunteers from the community for the communities. We're calling it the Mekomit. Mekomi is local in Hebrew. The strength of our community influences the quality of our food. And the way we acquire that food influences the resilience of our community. I want to thank my community. Thank you.